Right, we're just about to push back now, so we're going to release the power brakes, which is off, shift and P to push back, and as you can see, let's have a look on the external view, and as you can see we're going to be pushing back all the way to our taxiway, to get ready for taxiing. So for the moment we are not going to be calling for taxi clearance until after the pushback is complete. And once the pushback is complete, as long as the tug gets out of the way, then we can start calling air traffic control for clearance for taxi. Well, you can see Heathrow Airport is one of the busiest airports in the world. Well, actually it's the third busiest airport. Atlanta Hartsfield International Airport is the most busiest in the world, but Heathrow is still number one in the UK and number one in Europe in the most airports in the world. So as you can see, we're just pushing back towards the taxiway. So what we're going to do is to release the tug by pushing Shift and P. And as you can see, that is the plane I'll be flying to Rovenemi Airport. So just give that a moment to check. So we'll just go through the views. Oh, there it is. So what we're going to do, we're going to set the speed to about 250 knots. That's below 10,000, unless if air traffic control otherwise say we can climb at a faster speed. So we're going to set to 250. There you go. We'll turn on the nav and strobe lights. There's no need for landing lights because we're in the daytime, so there's no need for that. So what we're going to do then is select the flaps to 20. So if I bring up this engine quadrant here, and the one on the right, as you can see, where my arrow is where the flap lever is. It starts from 1 degree, 5 degrees, 10 degrees, 20 degrees, 25 degrees, 30 degrees. We're going to set that to 20 degrees flat down. So if I press F7 about 4 times, and as you can see on the indicator, if I get rid of this engine, and as you can see on the engine instrument and crew alerting system, or known as ICAS, that is the indication that the flaps is at 20 degrees. So because of the weight we are with this aircraft, we are at 20 degree flap. So as we can see, we're about ready for taxiing. So let's call up air traffic control now, and we're going to be start taxiing. But we have to wait for them first. While we wait to get to air traffic control, as you can see, we just push back. We're going to get ready for takeoff, and then climb out on a Christmas adventure. And here is a clearance for taxi. We're going to be taking off from runway 9 left, that's takeoff to the east. We're going to be flying over the city of London towards the Norfolk area, over the North Sea, and as I mentioned in my introduction, let's see if we get taxi clearance first. I've turned on the progressive taxi. What that is it will direct me to the runway to make it easier. So if I don't know which taxiway I'm on, then it will help me towards the runway. So we're going to open up the throttles. To get the plane moving. Everyone's in their seats. Everybody is in their seats. no smoking and passenger signs are on.
Contact tower 1241475 when ready. Pacifica 2510, hold position, caution under traffic. Hold position, Pacifica 2510. Taxi 2 and hold short, runway 9er left, using taxiway Kilo Bravo Kilo Alpha, Pacifica 4639er. Will travel 1123 heavy, hold position, caution under traffic. Hold position, world travel 1123 heavy.
Told us to hold position for other traffic, so let's see if there's any other traffic about. Let's see if there's any traffic about. I don't see any traffic. That's because we can't see other traffic, so we'll have to move on anyway, so... Well, because there was nobody about, so that's where I went anyway, so... As you can see, we're now taxiing, so on our way to the runway, wait for runway 9 left, so this is the old simulator, so I'm using, so I haven't got in the new version, because the new version's got Heathrow Terminal 5 on there, so I'm afraid it's a bit old, so don't laugh if I get this wrong.
Roger, Pacifica 4639er. Hold position, Pacifica 2510.
What I'm doing, I'm taxiing with the rudder. I'm just twisting the stick left and right, and I'll show you this is the stick I'll be using to fly the plane. So I'm twisting the stick right on the rudders to turn right. I'm sticking the stick left to turn left. Engine throttles are here, so if you want more power, you push this forward. That's the engine throttles, and to go back, you pull all the way back. And on the front of the stick is the brake, so it's right. As you can see, we're just about ready for takeoff, and we've got another aircraft just take off. Well, I can see it's a Learjet 45 ready. Taxiing also go to the runway, so we're going to be stopping behind the aircraft, so we're just going to make a nice stop now. So at this point we will get contact the air traffic control tower. Heathrow has got more than 10 frequencies for different services, so if we go to tower on 124.475, like that, and then we try and get number 3, which is request takeoff clearance from air traffic control tower.
Heathrow Tower, world travel 1123 heavy at runway 9er left, ready for takeoff by Martin Bravo Hammond. World travel 1123 heavy, clear for takeoff, runway 9er left.
I don't know why that plane was in the way, but I think it's not just me, it's a simulator, so just ignore that.
Clear for takeoff, runway 9er left, world travel 1123 heavy.
You know what, I just don't know why it was there in the first place, so So if it was taken off as well, it could have gone as well. So, but anyway, well, who cares? Well, you know what? Who cares? We're going to Lapland, and if he wants to sit there all day, it's up to him. And as we taxi in towards the runway, as we get ready to line up on the runway to try to get it straight. Okay, this takeoff procedure is this. We use the throttles to go forward, all the way for full power. So if I get this out of the way so you can enjoy the takeoff view. So if I get rid of the air traffic control menu, and that's about ready for takeoff, so engine is now stabilized.
World travel 7333 cleared to land. Runway 9er left.
And take off.
Cleared to land. Runway 9er left. World travel 7333.
Let's have a forward view of the takeoff. We've gone through 80 knots. We're trying to keep it straight. V1, rotate. V2, positive climb, gear up.
World travel 123 Penny, contact Heathrow, return on 1.
You see the landing gear? That's gone up. And we're climbing up to nearly 15 degrees up pitch to try. We're going to turn on the autopilots. Now we got some height and speed to attract the flaps. Flaps to 10. We are following the course on the map, and as we're turning, heading 035. So let's just say for the purpose of this video we got no speed restrictions, so we can climb to a climb speed of 340 knots. So we've been told to contact the approach control at Heathrow.
Northbound approach, world travel 1123 Penny, is climbing to 5,200 or 7,000.
We're going to show you some views. We're flying over the city of London. I'm afraid we can't see it because we're in the clouds, so there's no point seeing it, so let's go back to the cockpit. So we're going to be climbing up to 2,000 feet per minute. That's on the vertical speed indicator, to which I'll show you. And we're just about to climb to 7,000 feet.
World travel 1123 Penny, climb and maintain 13,000.
We've been told to climb up to 13,000 feet, so we'll go to a higher level. So.
Contact Heathrow's approach at 119.725. 119.725. That's the Heathrow's Alpha Kilo.
So we're starting our climb to 13,000 feet. We've got a bit of turbulence. We've been told to go to Luton approach.
Roger, altimeter 3019er, going 1.
So
World travel 1123 heavy.
as you can see, we're just now starting to follow the track on this GPS thing, heading towards the East Anglia area. So let's contact Luton Approach.
Luton Approach, world travel 1123 heavy, is at 8,300, climbing 13,000. World travel 1123 heavy, Luton Approach, roger, altimeter.
Excuse me, everyone.
World travel 1123 heavy.
We're now told to go to London Air Traffic Control Centre.
118.475, world travel 1123 heavy. London Center, world travel 1123 heavy, is climbing to 9,500.
Now that the flaps are up,
Orbit 1620, descend and maintain 2,200.
the flaps are already up to 0, so we're in a clean aircraft configuration.
Airway 9680, turn right heading 320. Turn right heading 320. Airway 9680. Pacific 8189er. Contact Fairfield approach at 122.85. Descend and maintain 2,200. Orbit 1620.
So at the moment we're just climbing up through 11,000 feet for 13,000, and we're leaving Stansted on the left hand side. Right, our next stop, Father Christmas Airport. Let's bring up this GPS thing again, and if we look ahead to the next, if we can get it, the next 150 miles we'll be climbing towards, we've been told to climb to 21,000 feet. So when they say flight level 210, it means 21,000, FL means flight level, so it says 210, that's 21,000 feet, which is in this corner here. So as we're climbing through Essex, moving up towards the Great Yarmouth area, that's leaving Norwich on the right hand side, and as we head across the North Sea, as I mentioned, towards the Norway area. So for the moment, we keep an eye on the plane and see how it's going on. We're just increasing the vertical speed to 2,000 feet per minute. And the reason we're doing 2,000 feet per minute so we can have like a nice gentle climb up there. So if we get rid of the GPS thing for the moment. So while we wait to get to 21,000 feet, let me show you the around the cockpit. The one on the left is the speed indicator. That is the speed indicator to what speed that we're flying at by the automatic throttle system. The arcs at the bottom is our little heading, because at the moment it's about 033 degrees. And then you got the and then just above it you got the artificial horizon. The one in blue is the up, and the one in brown. I thought we can't find the traffic anywhere. And the one in brown is that the plane is pitching down, and then you got the two symbols there with the flight director the aircraft is in flight and it's climbing. Next to that is the navigation display. The navigation display is when the plane is flying at the moment, at heading 034 degrees. Next to them are the two radio frequencies. The one on the left and the right, they're both select to VORs, or that's navigation, or you can select instrument landing system frequencies, and we'll talk more about that when we get to Rovenemi Airport. Next is we've got some backup instrumentation. We've got the backup artificial horizon, speed indicator, altimeter, which we're now flying up to 18,000 feet. Next is along is the ICAS, or the engine instrumentation and crew alerting system, and it's just telling us the engine pressure ratio 1.37, 73% engine power, and the exhaust gas temperature of the engine is 508 degrees. Landing gear indication is up, and the flaps is at 0, so we've got a clean aircraft configuration. The total fuel we got is 139.2 tons. That is the total fuel that we got on board the aircraft at the moment. So if we go on this switch for ICAS, as you can see, the N2 is about 84.3%. That is the core of the engine. The fuel flow is about 8.6 tons of fuel per hour per engine at the moment. So if you multiply that across the planes, so I'll make that 34 tons. Oil pressure and temperature indicators are all down here. So now our next air traffic control clearance is climbed to a higher level. If we put this camera back here.
Will travel 1103 heavy, climb and maintain flight level 350. Climb and maintain flight level 350. World travel 1123 heavy.
So there we are. We've been told to climb up to 35,000 feet, and if we get rid of this again, now let's look at the main control panel, mode control panel of the aircraft. Starting on the left is the autothrottle marked AT, and that's a switch that we always switch on for flight, and that controls the speed of the aircraft. FD, F-D means flight director. That's exactly what it says. It says it's directing the flight on the like I said, the panel. Next is the IS Mach, indicated airspeed Mach. We're at 340 knots, and the letters SPD mean speed, which is lit, and if we're flying in Mach, we'll be flying at a Mach number. Next is the lateral panel, the heading knob. We can either just turn left or right with this knob to fly over whatever heading we got. And the reason it's in navigation is because of this control on GPS, so the plane is flying on GPS, taking us to Rovenemi. Next is vertical speed, which will be climbing about 2,000 feet per minute. And as we move along to the right, as you can see, we're at altitude of 35,000 feet. That's where we're climbing to. And the buttons to the right of it, the letter BC and APP, means it's the ILS, or the instrument landing system, which I hope we can demonstrate it on our way down to Rovenemi Airport. This is the setup for an automatic approach and landing at the airport. So what we basically do then, we arm the approach button for the localizer and glide slope to descend on it automatically, and sometimes we even land the plane automatically. The button to the right is A/P. It is the autopilot. The CMD is in the command system on, and it's just flying the plane. Next up to the top, we have the anti-icing switch. So if we were going through cloud, if we're going through like rain or snow, we turn on the anti-icing. Next along, as I showed you earlier, the engine control switches to start the engines. Next along, we've got the lights for the beacons, navigation, strobe lighting, and the one for the panel which we use at night if we were doing night flying. Next along, we have the landing lights, one for the inboard and outboard lights, and taxi lights, and taxi when we're taxiing on the ground. And lastly, we can bring up the radio panel. The radio panel is used for air traffic control, and the one at the top is where we're talking to air traffic, 118.47. Next one down to the first officer, so all if we've got problems with the radio. The next two columns are called nav1 and nav2, which we can select VOR beacons or ILS approaches. We set the frequencies up, and the one below it is the transponder code, which air traffic control gave us, 2664, and the one below is the NDB approach. NDBs are non-directional beacons used for the final approach fix for the airports. So for the moment, I have taken you around the aircraft, while I'm presently climbing up towards about 30,000 feet, and we're still on course for Rovenemi Airport. So we'll bring up the ATC thing again. Excuse me.
Pacific 1409er, traffic alert, 3 o'clock, less than 1 mile, 10,100,
Let's bring up the GPS. And at the moment, we are flying towards around the Great Yarmouth area. We are of Norfolk, and we're probably heading for the North Sea towards Norway. So at the moment, we look to be on course. So at the moment, we're just doing fine. One real fact about this Boeing 747 is it can fly a bit faster than the twin engine planes. The twin engine planes fly about Mach decimal 8182. We fly about Mach decimal 8485, probably about Mach 8.6, because they overtake the little plane, the little two engine airline, because they're flying faster than anybody else at the moment. And then we'll be in the next couple of minutes or so up to our cruise altitude of about 37,000 feet, which I did put down. So let's have a look at some views while we wait. And there we are, we're just leaving the UK behind. And look at that, isn't that nice to fly on a nice day like this? We've been told to climb to our cruise altitude of 37,000 feet. the moment we're just climbing 2,000. Yeah, I just saw the aircraft already, so I'm just going to say I've just had to say yeah, I saw the traffic. Yeah, I already saw that early before the air traffic control says to me.
Orbit 3855, traffic at 6 o'clock, 2 miles, at flight level 359er, Boeing 747, report to the site. Orbit 3855, 7 traffic.
As you can see, we're about to climb, well, we're close now to about 37,000 feet. If I just bring the camera over here, so you can see it better. Probably about 50 feet to go.
Pacific 1109er, contact Larry, approach on 123.3. 123.3, American Pacific 4409er. London Center, American Pacific 4409er, with you. American Pacific 4409er, London Center, roger, altimeter 3021.
And yes, we are at 37,000 feet.
Traffic alert, 11 o'clock, worship 1 mile, 10 pounds, Hamlet, dash 8, report to the site. American Pacific 4409er, contact Larry, approach on 123.3. 123.3, American Pacific 4409er. 123.3 with American Pacific 4164.
We're going to turn on the engine menu here. Well, actually, the quadrant actually. And if I bring the camera again towards here, we're going to turn off the seatbelt sign for the passengers. What you hear is a little noise, like that. Now the passengers can move about, and we are now going in towards our cruise altitude of 37,000 feet, and I will see you later on later in the cruise. See you then. Bye bye for now.